Welcome to Coffee, Eggs and Inspiration. It's a weekly show that goes out over YouTube and as a podcast over all of the major platforms. And each week I get to sit with an inspiring person and listen to their story and share it with all of you. This week is no different. I'm joined by Efe Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nailed it. Who's otherwise known as Ushine Ishine.
Oh yes, shine, shine, shine.
Amazing. You can feel the energy already. And we're only a little bit into our coffee and we don't have eggs. I've just realised actually I've not filmed a single one of these with eggs. Note to self, got to do that. Let me give you a little bit of an introduction to Efe. She's dedicated to inspiring young people, which is the important starting point, an incredible pursuit. Grew up in London, University of Surrey, BSc in Media and Technology, then dropped into the world of ads and TV, started out at MTV, founder after that of Ushine Ishine, which is not only her brand but her company and kind of your otherwise known as
values, right? Everything, philosophy,
values, everything, the whole lot, where she's been doing incredible work as a mentor, as a teacher of teachers.
Yeah, teacher of
adults,
teachers.
All sorts of things. YouTuber. Nice little nuggets there up on the channel. And is working also, we're very grateful, with Google on Be Internet Citizens.
Woohoo, Be Internet Citizens, yay!
Now I can't leave this part out. 2018.
Oh yes.
Awarded a British Empire Medal by the Queen.
We like the Queen.
For services to young people, we do. An incredible testimonial. So, welcome, Efe.
Thank you.
It's a privilege and pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you for having me, Craig. I was so honoured.
Do you remember how we met?
I do. I won't forget it, actually. And the funny thing is, I was here to have a meeting, and they said, "Who wants a hot drink before they leave?" And I was like, Sophie said, "Just go and get that hot drink." So we all came down, and then I saw you, and we were like, I was like, I like that guy. He's got an aura of energy. I'm like, what's up? And you were kind enough to be open to me and say hello.
Yeah, I did. And you look, I absolutely the same thing. You were standing there. You were very elegant in your bright blue boiler suit, and I thought, this is a woman with fashion. I have to get to know her.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Style. So I appreciate you spending time with me. So you grew up in London?
Yes, I am a born and bred Londoner. Raised in Hackney, East London, one of the best places in the UK, if not the world, because of its diversity, inclusion, and it's not the Hackney that we see now. It's like the Hackney, where it was raw and edgy and creative, and just a wonderful, amazing place to have my childhood.
It's still all of those things.
It's just there's a nice sheen on it, and I'm missing the grannies because Hackney was all about the grandmas. So you go to the market and you'd see someone else's grandma and they'd talk to your grandma, and then you'd wonder why you're not Sainsbury's yet because they're still chatting. So yeah, Hackney was all about the amazing grandmas and immigrants. So yes.
I'm an immigrant. I've been here 21 years, and I remember going to Hackney. I went to the Columbia Road Flower Market.
Yes.
That's still Hackney,
oh,
right?
Yeah.
And thought it was wonderful. Have I, if I moved again, just arrived now, I'd probably live there. I think it's an
you
amazing
never
place.
know.
You still living out that way?
I'm living more East London, Walthamstow way,
yeah.
which is also another wonderful, wonderful place.
Favourite thing about Hackney?
Favourite thing about Hackney is, I would say, just because of the different types of people that you get there. And if you're a talker like me, you can meet the most amazing, outstanding human beings. So I'd say, if you ever come to London, get yourself to Hackney or anywhere in East London.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely. Brick Lane is my favourite.
Oh yeah.
Truman Brewery.
Yes. A bagel, a bagel. If you're supposed to say, if you say it properly, you can never beat those bagels. Or shopping on a hot Saturday in Brick Lane.
Fantastic.
Good times.
Fantastic. So went to university, and then what drew you into advertising and TV? You started at MTV, right?
Yes, I did. So let me tell you, at 11, my mum got Sky into our house, and there was MTV. It literally changed my life. I'm like, what is this? Music and fashion and people talking? I was like, yes. So I was like, that was my biggest dream since I was 11. So I went and did a degree in media, and I also thought technology was cool as well. My mum loves technology and all things new and Japanese, and so I ended up doing work experience for MTV. That's a longer story. And then kindly, I was just walking on the street. One of the staff members saw me and said, "We've got a job going." And I was like, "Stop it!" I was like, "That's some proper manifestation there."
Right,
so I went,
absolutely.
did my internship at MTV, and it changed my life.
Serendipity.
Yeah, serendipity at its maximum.
Were you drawn to the music side of it, or was it more the videography and creative
It was
side?
all of it.
was all of
I
it.
love directors. I just say to people, I love moving image. I love art, and I love to dance, and just popular culture is my thing and will always be my thing. So it was just being in an environment where it was all meshed into one, and I felt the energy of all of this creativity. And for me, being creative is the highest, and using your imagination to inspire people with your art. Best thing in the world.
I agree. What sort of dance do you do?
My mum says you were dancing in the womb. I knew I'd have an energetic child, so I dance in like this Jamaican dance or African, more traditional than the new stuff like the Afrobeat stuff. But I can still do it too, and just any popular culture dance. For me, I just like to twerk and wiggle and just be happy.
Oh goodness, it's a shame we've got such a small space here.
Don't worry. Next time, I'll show you a few moves.
I had another guest on the show, and he confessed to me early on that he was a break dancer.
Oh wow, okay. No, don't do that.
Okay,
I'd break something.
Yeah. Well, he thankfully didn't, Gabriel. Wonderful. And after MTV, you went into advertising.
Yes, I did, and that was just by chance as well. So I was a receptionist. I was doing a lot of temping work. So I actually worked to be an actress.
Okay.
And a presenter. So I was studying to my acting school, and but as life has it, they offered me a full-time job because I was such a good receptionist. I was like, "Yeah, you want teas, biscuits, coffee? I can do it for you." They're like, "Oh, we like this girl." And then I spoke to a woman, and she ended up being a TV producer. And she says, "I'm looking for an assistant. Would you be my assistant?" Now, that's the easy version, but it wasn't as straightforward. And so and then I went up and became her assistant TV producer and made lots of commercials.
So far, this sounds very, very lucky, but I'm sure there was a lot of skill and grafting.
Let me tell you, there's always grafting. There's a story behind a story. So if I tell you the story and how the steps it took to get there, but it did. So that's why I say be good at something, because if you're good at a small thing, people see it and want you and give you responsibility at the bigger things. So yes, I worked in TV for a while in advertising, and advertising is hard work.
It is very hard work.
It's a hard place.
I can confirm.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I like your cosign. Very hard work. So it's you have to be strong to be in that environment.
So what led you to change? Because you left advertising eventually to set up your own thing, and that's a very, very big, courageous move, right?
Crazy, risky. So I think with advertising, I think I've done my time. And I think I learned all I had to learn, and I've mixed with lots of different people who were both advantageous and sometimes very hard for my personality to deal with. So I had to, and what I wanted to do, I said I knew that I wanted to change my life, and the most important thing was to do what my passion was, which is young people. And so I had to sit with myself for a while and contemplate how I was going to make this a sustainable thing, because I called myself a youth mentor, and when I did it, people were like, "What's a mentor? What are you talking about? Why do young people need youth mentors? They don't need anyone. They've got teachers and their parents." I'm like, well, that's not what my experience is. So I just thought, all right, I'm going to go and do it and try it. And when you're starting something new, you've always got to have your backup plan. So I freelanced for a little while, and then I was like, okay,
doing advertising,
and then I was like, no, because again, I'm still in the same places, and I need a clear mindset to do what I need.
Fully committed,
fully engaged. So when I'm with these children, I can give them the absolute truth, authenticity, and the pureness of my heart, because it can be muddled if you're not in a place that is creating that in you.
I'm going to drill in here, because I just find it incredibly inspiring that you've chosen to do this with your life, and it's obviously coming from a really deep place. And advertising, it didn't gel with your personality. I think you said. In what way?
Well, it can be a very hard place, and it's driven by sometimes people who want to get the great work done, but they forget about the individual, and that's removed, and there's a lot of pressure, heavy deadlines, and you end up spending more time in work than you do with your family or even just yourself. And the pressure I was able to cope with, but I knew that the person I would be if I continued doing this was not the person that I'd admire or want to even hang out with a lot of the time. I wasn't liking who I was as a human being.
Wow, and it takes tremendous courage to A, recognise that and B, move away from it. Why youth mentoring? Why not teaching or something else?
All right, let me tell you. I tried to help my brother with his math homework. He came home and he said, Effie, I got D. So I knew I wasn't going to be a teacher. And so I said, you have to keep having conversations with yourself. And I knew that I wanted to give kids what I knew about self, and I knew that we had to support our children in the development of self, because I worked with a lot of hard, sometimes very mean people, and I thought, I don't want the children of the world to think that that's okay. I want people to realise that being soft and tender and caring about your other people and collaborating is of the highest essence, and we'll create a world in which I'm planting seeds. I may not see the fruit grow, but I know that I was able to give something while I was here, and that was the message that kept coming to me. So I'm like, all right, girl, come on, this is gonna be hard, but we're gonna do it.
What a metaphor! What a metaphor! So cheerleading. I've been watching your videos.
Thank you. And championing. Yes, absolutely.
Cheerleading and champion. So. Tell us about Ushine Ishine. I'll link it below.
Yes, link it. So, Ushine Ishine, it is a youth mentoring and I say life coaching for both mainly young people. I also do adults as well, but with the young people, I called it Ushine Ishine because I know that once you really understand how great you are as an individual, there's no competition with anybody else. You shine in your perfectness, and because someone's seeing how joyful and full of life and light you are, you will then inspire them to do the same. And that's what is a catalyst of good humankind, like it's human kindness. And so I was like, I sat down one day and I'm like, no, and it just popped into my
just
head.
came to you.
Yeah. And that's what I want it to be.
I tell you, we started with a ginger shot this morning, and I feel even more invigorated by listening to you than I did for my ginger shot.
Thank you.
So you work with youth and presumably adult workers, sort of teaching the teacher and coaching them. They work with youth as well.
Teaching the teacher, coaching, making sure that, because I know that adults also need. One thing I've learned is that adults need a lot of love as well. So it's not just the children. That's why I've had to expand it to incorporate and give a chance for teachers and adults and professionals to also have this experience. And my most important thing is when I'm teaching, I know that I'm going to get the best out of you if we play and have fun. And I think that's a bit what's missing in education. Because I tell you, when a child is happy, and even if you're giving them the toughest lesson, they will take it and they will use it. Amen. Amen, hallelujah, and everything on top, right?
And do you focus on a specific section of the community?
No way.
Everyone's welcome?
Everybody is welcome to the House of Shine, I say, because, people always go, oh, are you just disengaged or just black kids? And I'm like, no, every child is my child. You can, when they talk about me, I'm like my babies, and they can come from anywhere, any religion, background, ethnicity, and socio-economic background. We've got to understand that even children who seem to have much, they may live in a big house, parents have money, sometimes they're the ones lacking in the most. Affection, attention, and just listening time. And they're the ones who usually come up and give me the biggest cuddles because they really appreciate the time that you put into them.
Well, self-worth doesn't come from those sorts of things.
It doesn't. It comes from so many other things, and for me, one of them is cake. So
one of them is cake?
Yeah, I love cake. Cake makes me happy.
What's your favourite cake?
Banana cake.
Banana cake?
Anything banana.
Do you bake?
I do.
Do you?
I do, yes. My famous apple and pear pie. I make my own pastry as well.
Is it a secret recipe?
Who, me? Not really. I'll share it with you later.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I won't publish it here.
It's all right. No, we share love. It's all good.
Dancing. What's your favourite music, by the way? You listen to music?
I have an eclectic taste. So one minute I could be listening to any popular like Beyonce, or I could be listening to Kate Bush or Whitesnake or drill, or trap house, dance music, reggae, everything. My mum brought me up in a house where we'd listen to Dolly Parton one minute, and then Eurythmics, or I'm going like back then. I was brought up on wonderful soul, everything.
Amazing.
Music is joy.
Do you have a record collection?
For me, my
CDs,
mum does.
Yeah,
my mum has an amazing record collection. Everything from Fela Kuti to Bob Marley and proper like soul to soul. So for me, my other thing, if I had to do this again, I might also be a DJ, because I love music so much.
You could do that as well.
You know what? I could actually. I just
Bit
need
of
to
a side
find.
hustle.
Yeah, that may be my 2020 vision thing. I may do that. So yeah, music is life.
Incredible.
Do you love music?
I do.
Good. What's your favourite?
I'm also eclectic, actually.
Yeah.
All of the names that you just called out. I listen to everything from pretty serious grime and rap.
Yeah.
And, I love the old hip hop stuff.
Right?
Yeah. I went to a concert the other day in Chiswick, actually.
All right,
It was
what was
Soul
it?
to Soul.
No.
Jazzy B and all of the originals.
Did you not love that?
And then who was it afterwards? God, I can't remember who it was. It'll come back to me.
You can text me, but like,
Soul
it was that.
Soul to Soul, yeah.
Was brilliant.
Incredible.
I hope you were grooving.
I was right at the front in the mosh pit, such that mosh pits are in Chiswick. Where were we?
Sorry, I'm naughty, sorry. Music.
Yeah, music, and I set up a record label as well. That's
Did
a side
you?
hustle. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You are the king of the hustle. I like it.
Yeah, it's
Oh
fun.
my
It's a bit of fun.
goodness.
It's about helping people who've got talent.
It really
A bit
is.
like you.
Yeah,
Actually,
literally.
because
yeah.
there's so many people, aren't there?
So many people
out there who
have
don't
talent.
have that oxygen, but they have the talent.
They have that talent, and then you just need to sprinkle it with a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
And once you add that to someone, like for me, the foundations of living are confidence, happiness, and self-understanding. All right, because once you know who you are, the confidence will grow, and that's when opportunities will light up for you like you couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
All right, and people notice that. So I'm always about realize you a lot of the children are, I live in this area, that area. I'm like, baby, you live in the United Kingdom, one of the most richest, most powerful countries throughout time.
Yeah.
It's just, you just need to know what you've got.
Quite right, yeah.
What have you got? And then we talk about it, and they're like, oh my God, look at me being an amazing human being.
Yeah, we're very, very fortunate. Where do you get your energy?
Who, me? I know, this is me, like, tired. Like, where do I get my energy from? You know what? That's a big question. People ask me all the time. I just get it from the joy of life, I realise how lucky I am. Maybe it's in my DNA. My parents were very joyous, light human beings, and I just realised that I'm very privileged to be who I am and do what I do and meet the people that I have in my life.
You must have down days, though, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
How do you pick yourself up?
Oh, right. So if I try not to, if I have a down day, I'll be like, right, I'm gonna wallow in this day. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be in my sweat.
Embrace it.
Yeah, I completely embrace it. My hair's gonna be all crazy, and then I give myself a day, and then I tell you, you got to get out of it because you've got other people to look after.
Yeah.
And also now I start doing things like yoga and Pilates,
right.
and I love the gym, and I go running if I'm feeling, because that just brings those beautiful endorphins up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if not, then I'll call a friend or I'll call my brother, and my brother will be like, all right, you can do it, and my sister will cuss me and be like, all right, go with yourself, move on, right? So I've got both of them giving me, and my mum will be like, all right, love, you're fine, you can do it, I believe in you, and I get on with it, and then I eat cake.
Banana cake.
Banana cake.
You must have worked with some incredible young people over the years.
Amazing.
Tell us some of the stories that you've come across.
Some of this, oh gosh, where do I begin? Let me begin with when I first started, and I was with a little girl. She didn't say anything at all. She was as quiet as a mouse, and then she came to me afterwards and she's like, I really enjoyed working with you today. And when you hear that from a child, it just inspires you to keep going. And then she's like, right, I really want to become a presenter, and will you just give me a few tips? It was just her asking me small things. She was, I think, 13. And she was tiny. She was really cute. And then I've got one of my young ladies. She's at Oxford University. I'm so proud of her. They came as a trio. I've got one of my young men that I work with who was on The Apprentice last year.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm very proud of him. My children, regardless if they're out in the world or if they've got better exam results. I worked with a lot of young boys last year for life skills program, and these boys were failing, and at the end one of the little boys came to me, said, now I can see myself as being the head of Barclays Bank. And this is a boy who is even stuff like that just puts tears in my eyes.
How do you bring that out in people? What's your
magic?
Clearly some sort of magic. Yeah.
You know what, because I focus, I don't see them how they've been seen before, I don't see them how they see themselves, I just see them in the gloriousness of who they are and the essence of who they are. You know, when if you really tune into people, you literally see the light of them, and once you capture that and then re-instill it back in them, you've got them.
So how do you draw that out? Because as you know, the story of the 13-year-old, she was quiet and didn't like to talk.
Yeah.
And, how do you peel away the layers?
Wow, that's a big question. How do I you know what? Sometimes I don't even know. It's just being kind to a person and encouraging them and giving them those key words that that will change or shift their perspective or shift the way that they see themselves. Because it's all about our perspective of who we are. Yeah. That's why some people are presidents and some people are heads of state or wherever they are in their life. It's because of the vision of the way they see themselves. So I make sure that before my young people leave me, maybe for a day, an hour sometimes, I can change children, or 6 months, that child will have a completely different vision of themselves.
Amazing.
That's how I do it.
Sounds transformative.
I would, yes, thank you. I'd hope so, yeah.
There's probably teachers, adults, employers, business leaders, maybe politicians watching or listening to this. What advice would you give them?
Teachers, politicians, I say you're in such great power, but we need to revise the way that we're working with our children now. We need to revise, but that starts with how you see yourself and how you're going to start being kinder and looking after people's mental states, personal states, and how we can then help them envision a brighter future but put them at the centre point of that. Right. Okay, people have to be at the centre, because you get a great nation if you look after the people, and most importantly if you look after the children.
How would you do education differently?
Oh, I'd make it with technology, all right? In a lot of the East Asian countries, technology is at the forefront. Getting our young people coding, more artistic, get them dancing and performing and being creative. You can teach them Shakespeare, but bring it to the 21st century, all right? Get them to create movies. This is what they like to do. Give them what they like and they will learn in a way that you couldn't even imagine. And maybe not so much testing. I think the pressure on their life right now is too much. A few exams just to get them a little bit focused, but this heavy testing is not working. And I know how I felt when I was tested, thinking that I was a C or a B, thinking that was what was for me. And we need to make sure that the care of them. I believe that every school should have a mentor, every school should have a coach. There should always be somewhere to look after people, and that needs to be in corporate worlds as well. So that's my big thing.
That really resonates with me, and I'd like to talk more about creativity. You mentioned that a couple of times. You're clearly a very creative person yourself. Why creativity? What role does creativity have to play in business and society?
Because it makes everything that we are, everything we do, you know. We weren't just born, we were created, you know. It goes back into time. You know, everything from the table, the way that I say this to children, the way you decide to put your hair or your clothes, you're creating yourself, you're creating an image of yourself. You know, the way technology is, it's about expanding our mind and going higher and putting stuff into the world. That's why some of the most people that we love the most are superstars. It's, you know, people in music, they create, and that's why we love them. And so, you know, I think even Einstein said being imaginative is the most important thing that we can do, expanding our imagination. And then when you do, you don't know what you can create for tomorrow. A better world, or a new type of dance, or a you know, different type of fashion. You know, that's life, that's living.
I could not agree with you more.
Thank you.
And you know, coming from a technology company,
right?
You know, there's creators with a capital C, people who dance and do this. But actually, you know, in a world where the only constant is change, your ability to adapt, remain agile, see around those corners, imagine a future that's different, and go create it. These are all creative skills.
It is.
Whether you're a business person, a politician, a teacher, or whatever.
And that's innovation, it's uniqueness. I think we're preaching on them today. What?
Okay. Look, I went through some of your YouTube videos last night, and they're wonderful little nuggets of gold.
Nuggets.
And actually, one of them is called gold. I think it's something like that.
Yeah, like golden.
2 minutes and great little tips. So if you haven't had a chance to look at Efe's site, Ushine Ishine, do have a look. The link's below. Really interesting little nuggets that are very inspiring, like a little shot of ginger.
Oh, a shot of ginger. Woo, I love it.
You have to name one in a shot of ginger now.
I will. That will be up. Yeah, it's on my list of videos to do in honour of you. There you go.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank
my
you.
pleasure.
Tell me about getting a medal from the Queen.
I'll tell you that my mother was very happy, very excited, and very proud of me. I think it meant and means and will always mean a lot to me, because I remember sometimes going into places and people would look at me like, how are you going to inspire our kids? You know, being a woman of colour, and sometimes they don't think that you've got the stuff because you're not used to what they're seeing, unless you're Oprah, you know. What have you got to give our kids? And so for me it means that it puts everything together, saying, you know what, that silly young girl who thought that would be something, it's a beautiful validation. And even people who are very confident need a bit of that sometimes. And so it warms my heart and then gives me encouragement to keep going. And
it is actually a medal too.
It is. You actually get a medal with your name engraved.
Where is
on
it? Where do you keep it?
It's in my. I've got a little table, and I put all my medals, and I like crystals and stuff like that. So I put that on my table of, you know, fruitfulness.
Fantastic.
Karma.
A nice little reminder each day about the value of what you're doing.
Yeah, and to never give up, because sometimes it's hard. And yeah, sometimes it's hard, the work that you're doing, and sometimes it's hard because people don't know if there's the values there. So yeah. So you got me all teary.
Oh God. Closing thoughts. So, you know, there's probably lots of young people watching. Closing thoughts. What's your advice if you're a young person making your way in the world? Give us some Ushine Ishine.
Okay, yes, all right. So some nuggets. I say, just make sure that you start working on your dreams, because dreams are everything, they become reality. Make sure that you have a good network of friends, and watch who your people are, because your friends will either build you up or knock you down. I would also say that make sure that you realise that life don't always take it so seriously. Find the joy and the happiness, and be courageous and brave. And always, what I didn't learn until a lot later, is always ask for help, because there is someone who will help you, and if it's not me, it will be someone who is out there, and there's always someone who always loves you. A friend told me that, and I will take that with me everywhere I go. So always know that you are loved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful note to close on. You are an inspiration, Efe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On behalf of everyone for what you're doing. It's
Thank you.
so incredibly important.
Thank you.
And thanks for spending time with me.
Thank you so much. You're a dream. Thank you.